Right. Okay, and we are live. Hey, everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, just sitting here drinking my morning coffee. Looking sexy as hell as usual. And see what we get in here. I'm going to get caffeinated, get my bench press going, then have some projects I have to work on after my cardio today. But yeah, looking forward to a good Monday. Good Monday. Yeah, pleasant surprise last night. I had one of my former clients had hit me up for like a gear talk consultation this weekend. I did a call with them Saturday night, and then they messaged me at like 10 o'clock last night going, hey, you still got those coaching slots open? And you went ahead and paid me in Bitcoin because overseas. And yeah, always nice because I did a consultation with them, picked up a new client. I'm going to fill those 3 slots up pretty quick, hopefully. I want to get those filled. I'm going to just keep hammering in advertising. But it's always nice because that wasn't expected. I always like that because I was not expecting him to come back on for coaching. I pitched it out there and he says, no, I don't really need coaching and right now. And he hits me back up and he's like, I need coaching. You still got those slots open? Like, yeah, dude, I got you. It was kind of cool. I was like that. And it's not the fact of picking up a client, it's getting a former client who was a really good client, like who was consistent in the past. Like those are nice to get. And especially when I didn't think he was coming back as a client. JT says, 100%. How you doing, JT? I'm still waking up, brother. This is my first cup. But you guys caught Justin? Everybody catch Justin's vlog last night? Like Justin said, yeah, dude, let's do the vlogs, man. I've been trying to get him to vlog off and on. I hit him about once a year for like 5 years straight. He's like, yeah, dude, let's do it, man. And I think his vlogging hasn't got many views yet, but a lot of positive compliments. So I think he was one of those where a lot of people were saying that, like, why don't you get him to vlog? The dude looks amazing. I can full range of motion dumbbell preacher curls, 55 pounds for 10 reps. Is it strong? That's crazy strong. You probably have 18, 19 inch arms. All right. Medi, your arms are probably 18 inches if you can do that. Yep. Cool. We're getting people in here already. Good. We're getting questions right off the bat. So being nice, productive. I guess Monday morning, like yesterday, was super slow. I almost turned it off at 10 minutes in. But yeah, we got people in here. But yeah, I mean, you guys saw, of course, the live last night. That went pretty deep. Of course, there's going to be some hate, but it tells you a lot about people, though, anyone who really has anything negative to say about the one I made last night. Because that's a big part of my message. And I think people have forgotten that has always been a central message in my channel and my outreach. Medi, it's too early in the morning for me to convert that to inches. That has been critical since day one on this channel was a lot of my messages about abuse survivors and getting other abuse survivors under a barbell, right? It's about empowering those people. And I've been saying this for 12, 13 years. So if I could be known for anything of my work, that would be the thing I really want to leave the world, is that message. If you've been abused and you've survived it, get under a barbell. Best thing you can do. Best thing in the world you can do. It will help you with your therapy. It'll help you empower yourself. Again, this is critical to my message. Like, to me, that is the single most important thing I could possibly do. Yeah, 18 and a half. So Medi, I called it, what did I say, 18 to 19? No, I mean, for me, that's the most important part of my work. The single most important message I have. Empower abuse survivors, get them under a barbell. So I'm going to hammer that message home over and over and over until people understand that is really a big part of what I'm about. And that's a big part of my life and a big part of who I am. You know, for me, the barbell, it has been therapeutic. Um, it's helped me retain what little bit of sanity I have left after the things I went through. Um, what type of flooring would you recommend for a home gym in a basement? I don't know. I've never really lived in a place with basements. I don't know a lot about basements. Right? Think about the part of the world I live in. We don't really have basements here. It's not a thing. I don't know what to tell you, dude. You're gonna have to research that on your own, unfortunately. I don't really know how basements work. Like, do you have a 6 foot slab of concrete under it or something? I don't know. Medi, then work on your bench then, man. Get your chesticles up. Build them teddies. Work on your pause bench. Right? You got 18.5 inch arms. You got a decent strict press. You just don't have a chest, man. You got to build your chest and your lats up. So you can be repping 315 like coach. Because I don't have your arms. Come on now. So give you plenty of cushion, some squish. It's like wearing elbow sleeves, man. You probably get 10 pounds out of those biceps popping out of the bottom of your bench. Like big old trampolines. People forget that. They forget that biceps help the bench in that way, just like they don't understand how hamstrings help your squat, right? They give you big pillows to bounce off of, bounce them off your calves. In other words, no one's ever gotten weaker by gaining muscle. All right. What else we have going, people? We got 3 people commenting. That's better than nothing. Also, a reminder, if y'all will follow me on the Facebook page, give me a follow, go down there and like my stuff. It'd be appreciated. Like, it is completely dead there this morning. These people aren't awake there on a Monday. That their algorithm is not kind. But I guess to answer your question, self-improvement, I guess some thick rubber mats wouldn't hurt, throw some rubber mats down. How many grams of fiber do you think you get when you're lower carb? Not nearly as many as higher carb, because I'm only going to force down so many vegetables. I don't track it, but that's a great question. So let me see. All right, how much is in an avocado? Avocado. Mainly because I just don't track fiber when I'm doing lower carbs like that. I just eat the vegetables. Oh, dang it, I need to click on the pictures. Medium avocado contains about 10 grams of fiber. So, yeah, when I do lower carb like that, my fiber is really low. So looking at my food, maybe about approximately 25 grams of fiber a day when I do really low carbs. But I'm also eating more fat than anything else. So you still get a bit of a stool softening effect. But yeah, so about 25 grams, which again would be a little lower than I would normally advocate, but the nature of that type of diet. I mean, I could increase it by just eating more avocados. It's like we could just eat 3 avocados every day. Which wouldn't be a bad idea, honestly. Be some crazy nutrition there. I was thinking about buying some horse stall mats. Just be prepared for the smell. those new horse stall mats in an enclosed basement, dude, you're going to want to air them out for a week out in the sun or something first. They have a distinct, strong smell inside your house. So you put them in your basement, your house might smell like horse stall mats for a month. So try to see if you can get them aired out first, because the type they use some special oils in them, so that can be a problem. Yeah. Man, we dropped down to like no views. We had about 15. 5 people watching. Come on. At least we're getting engagements. That's all that matters. These engagements are what matters, because these get views later. Get most of the views after the fact on these lives. Okay. So yeah, think about that too, self-improvement. Just be aware with those horse stall mats in your basement, and you're going to have to really air them out first, because they're going to stink your house up. I don't know how much ceiling you have. I don't know that much about basements, but I do know it's under your house and air probably seeps up. So just something to think about. I'm assuming, I mean, I don't actually know, because I don't know how basements work. I've just not lived in those parts of the world. Before people ask, you're in the Houston area, why don't they have basements? Because it's a swamp. Build a basement here, don't cry when you have 5 feet of water in it. Right? Your basement will turn into a swimming pool most of the year. A really brackish one. Definitely have to air them outside for a period of time. Yeah. What's the Blaha approved Super Bowl wing recipe? Salt and pepper. I would work, dude. I mean, if you look at those drumsticks I've been putting up, dude, I have like a Creole rub that I just dump all over them and some potassium salt and bake them. But that would work for wings. I mean, it depends on how spicy people want it though, dude. You know, how spicy of wings are you trying to get? I always recommend, so Matt, when we're talking about if you want to be fitness, I always do dry rubs. Don't do wet rubs with all the extra sugar. Medi, my forearms, we taped them on camera at just over 14 and a half on camera last week. I did them in a live. So they're right around 14 and a half. Yeah, Matt, avoid the wet rubs, because that's where you get all the sugar, you know, all the barbecue sauce. But dry herb rubs, that's the way to go. Yeah. But I think that combo will work. A little paprika in there too is never bad. Like paprika always goes good on chicken when you oven bake it. I like paprika on a brisket too. It used to be kind of my thing. So, and I know it's got some sugar in it, but when I used to do briskets, I used to take, you take like a 10-pound, 12-pound brisket, and I would put garlic and paprika all over it, kind of rub it all in, and then I would pour Jack Daniel's sauce in it in the fridge and marinate it overnight before I would cook the brisket. I'm a Texan. We know how to cook meat. It's part of our culture. You have to respect our culture, guys. I don't care if you're a vegan or vegetarian. You're being racist. That's how they define racism now. I've realized that. If you dislike a culture, it's racist. So if you disrespect my Texas culture, you're a bigot. That's how it works. My forearms are 13.5, but I can dumbbell wrist curl with 80s. Is that really that strong? I guess it's strong. I mean, I used to do the standing ones with 185 for 10s on a barbell. Jack Daniel's sauce. Yeah. I mean, it tastes good. It's got some high fructose corn syrup in it. That's a problem. Same as table sugar. I hate it when I have to tell people that. I'm shocked that people argue this. That they think that high fructose corn syrup is worse than table sugar, and they come up with all these crazy reasons. It's more processed. Like, okay, that's fine. What happens in the lab? They're identical. The effect in the human body on the blood work and inflammatory markers and insulin resistance is identical. There is no difference. It's the same garbage. So if you replace your high fructose corn syrup with table sugar, congratulations, you're going to get the exact same diabetes and cancer and other stuff you would have gotten. No change. All right. Falcon Eye, would you say gaining weight for someone with relatively high metabolism, there's no such thing? 5'8", 130 is more difficult than losing weight for someone who's on the heavier side, trying to work on bulking. Tough though. Falcon, what I tell guys who think they have a high metabolism, you don't eat. Because, and I've actually had to say this to people and they don't like the answer. So I'm like, I know they're lying about when they eat, when they say, I've been eating X amount of food, I'm whatever, I'm 140, right? And I added 1,000 calories a day for 3 weeks and I didn't gain any weight. Tell them there's only several medical possibilities that could explain this. Like, did you add 2 hours of cardio every day on top of this? Or like, no. All right, here's the only possible explanations. Either you're lying about what you're eating, which is usually what happens with fat people. They have the same problem. Skinny people have the same problem that fat people do. Fat person thinks they eat 2,000 calories when they eat 5,000. They forgot to add the 6 liters of soda they're drinking every day when they were counting the calories. They forgot that extra 500 calories of butter they add. Oops, I didn't add that in. All right. Now, so either they're not tracking the calories, right? Number 2, you're an undiagnosed type 1 diabetic. You need to be on medication. Or you have cancer that's undiagnosed and you're at least in a moderately late stage and you're dying. So usually that's the possible, or you have a tapeworm, a massive tapeworm that you need to go get removed. So usually when a guy says, well, I've added a bunch of calories, I'm not getting it, those are your only answers, medically, of which I'm aware. So here's what I'm going to say. How do you define as high metabolism? Yeah, you're not tracking, you're not eating. Now, Falcon, I have a diet accountability coaching right now at $100 a month. I will bust your balls over it. Abby's had great success. It's usually for weight loss, but I can do them for weight gain. So if you want to hit me up on Facebook, I have diet accountability, but here's how it works. You have to send me your calorie count from your app every day, and you have to send me your morning weigh-in every morning, 7 days a week. And I look at it. And if something is wrong, I bust your balls. And then I give you advice on how to actually eat to deal with your under eating or your binge eating. So how many calories do you think you're eating, Falcon? Because I eat 3,500 to 4,000 calories a day. Like yesterday, I had 2 pounds of chicken drumsticks, a dozen eggs, a bunch of cheese, whole milk, 2 avocados. Avocados are 300 calories a piece. Right? You know, usually my serious hard gainers who can't gain weight, I finally get them to the point where I'm like, dude, just get a jar of natural peanut butter and start eating it with a spoon. But whole fat Greek yogurt with some natural peanut butter mixed in is an easy 1,500 calorie meal for the guys who claim they can't gain weight. Eat that first thing in the morning. Problem solved. I can tell you right now, if you're 130 pounds at 5'8" and you're struggling to gain weight, I can tell you, you eat literally nothing. You probably eat like a banana and a sandwich and then forget to eat for 30 hours. I'm probably exaggerating a little. But I mean, I found this for decades. Like I remember even in my 20s chatting with a guy who needed some help. He's hired me to coach him a little. Uh, he's like, I'm not gaining weight. I'm not getting any bigger. I'm on testosterone, debol deca, everything. I can't get above 170 pounds. And like, he's like, I eat massive amounts of food. And I'm over here watching him. Like I showed up at the gym, and he happened to also be there. Evening time, I went there. Doing those training him for just a couple of days already. And I look, and the dude is doing a pickup game of basketball. Talk about he can't gain weight. I look at he's doing a pickup game of basketball at the gym, and the dude is just drenching sweat doing an hour-long pickup game of basketball. And I had him start tracking his calories. And he was averaging 2,200 calories a day, talking about, I'm eating everything like I'm gonna puke. He's eating 2,200 calories. I've had female clients who eat more than this. I'm like, well, that's why you're 170 pounds stacking 3 steroids together still. Yeah, you got to start tracking. Man, I wouldn't say that, but I don't eat more than I need to. 3 small meals. Yeah, well, that's your problem, dude. You need some quality nutrition in your life. Drink milk. My ninja ecom steak, 3 liters a day. See, that's how I can get around those problems, man. I can just read it as my ninja when people write stuff like that. We're good. Which is weird. People have me pegged sometimes as this weird thing and they don't understand. I'm Slavic, dude. I'm not even like a regular cracker. Like we're a completely different breed pretty much. Like we're not even accepted. Like I think people forget that when they started on me. I'm like, really, dude, my family came here. They didn't want us here because we're not white. You know, like in those days, we're dirty Eastern European immigrants. And then it flips over to where now I got people accusing me of being a neo-Nazi. I'm like, are y'all serious? I'm Slavic. Oh, man. Oh, well, whatever, dude. What are you going to do? I meal prep everything, yeah, for the most part. I mean, I think it's hilarious with that because, you know, I'm Eastern European. So the funny thing is, like, one of those organizations is already designated Slavs as people of color, actually. They gave us an official designation. It's just ridiculous. This stuff gets so stupid. All right. No, I don't really track that close, honestly. I'm at a point where I just ballpark it. Like it's literally 3,500 to 4,000 ballpark. But I mean, I cook all my meat in bulk. Like I cook 5 pounds of meat at a time. That stuff would be gone in a couple days every time. Yeah, Chris, it just gets insane, dude. There's a point where the whole topic gets crazy. I think everybody worries about it way too much on all sides. Stop. Just stop, people. Yes, people have adapted to the amount of sunlight and the part of the world their ancestors came from. Alert the media. All right. Now we're gonna go into all this, man. I don't know. We shouldn't have gone there. Now it's gonna be the whole thing. Chris, no, I don't think. What do you mean? Think about it. Nobody cares. People get stupid with these topics. They get really stupid with these topics. At the point, I just don't care. Oh man. Yeah. Chin-ups versus pull-ups, dependent upon if you want a little more bicep versus a little more lat. Here's the thing, Eco, they're both great exercises, particularly weighted. Like, I don't think you can go wrong with either choice. Yeah, we could argue about the emphasis on bicep versus lat. Okay, we can have that conversation. But realistically, can you really go wrong with either one? I don't think that you can. I think they're both fantastic exercises. Weighted shins, weighted pull-ups, any way you break it down is still a great exercise. Yeah, I love barbell row. I think that's a great combo. Do a pull-up and a chin-up and then a barbell row and some deadlifts. You'll have a stacked back. Just get strong at all three of them. You'll have a back. Guarantee it. Because now you're hitting all the different angles, right? You got a vertical pull, horizontal pull, then that heavy loaded hip hinge. Your back will be good. Also, Zach Tendler lost his mind over Cheer Strongman would be Lasha and Strong. What? I don't even know the reference and what's going on there, Chris. Why is he getting upset? They're better at their sport versus someone who's crazy strong and does a different sport. I mean, I don't think that that's an unreasonable statement. That's like saying an NFL player will beat an NBA player at football. Michael Jordan could win the Super Bowl. What are y'all talking about? Well, keep in mind in the fitness space, how many of the people are idiots? I mean, if you really think about it and look at it as far, and I'm not trying to be a dick about the fitness world and influencers, but the average personal trainer or people who choose to be coaches and trainers on average are probably, again, I hate to say it because this is my profession, but I'm not saying everybody. There are clearly geniuses who are coaches. I know a few. But on average, the average fitness influencer and the average trainer is below average IQ. It's generally not a profession that draws the most intelligent people. It just doesn't. And I'm saying this about my own profession. So on average, most trainers are stupid. As a demographic, they're below average. And that includes your fitness influencers and these other people. They probably have an average IQ of about 90, a little below average. I'm not the only person I know who says this. How would you approach deadlift twice a week and you do barbell rows and same workout with 3 rest days? I wouldn't recommend that you pull twice a week unless the second day is dedicated to purely speed pulls. His whole angle, so Eco, I wouldn't. How often do you see me deadlift? How often was I deadlifting when you saw me pull 635? In my late 40s, once a week. I'll do more than 3 sets of deadlift a week, really. You don't need more than that. I mean, how strong are you trying to get? I mean, if you'd be happy with a 600 deadlift, you could pull once every 2 weeks, eventually get there. You build the other muscle. I'm not telling you to do that, but I know people who do it. So be careful deadlifting twice a week. And yeah, I mess with deadlifting 5 days a week at one time. I've used all these things and I can tell you straight up, there's no benefit. Pull once a week, you'll be fine. unless you want to rotate speed pulls in. But keep in mind, speed pulls, you're going to be using what, like 50% plus some bands or chains. So if you deadlift 500, you'll be doing 250 and then throwing some chains over the bar and doing doubles with it. You can row. I've done barbell rows up to 5 days a week. Now I only do once. I mean, but it's up to you. How strong are you? That's part of the problem. The stronger you get, the harder these frequencies become. Like you start getting into that 500-pound squat range, 550 plus deadlift range, over 300 bench, frequency will start to bury you on stuff. Right. And I would say a lot of that training recovery could be used on other things besides beating the same big movements over and over. Hey, Cliff, except that people aren't gaining muscle on those cuts. What I'm telling you, on the slower cut, you can make gains instead of losing gains. And you can say safely all you want. Does that the research really showing people are retaining muscle, all of it, at a 1%? You sure that's what the research shows? Safely meaning your health isn't at risk. So I'm going to ask you a question, Cliff, and this is where you're going to get upset. No steroids in the mix. Okay, let's say you're on no tren, no DECA, right? You're just eating food. So Cliff, if you're 200 pounds right now, you go lose 1% of your body weight every week for the next 10 weeks and get a DEXA scan before and after. And then come back and tell me you didn't lose 5 pounds of lean tissue. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. You think I'm lying to you, then go test it. And you're going to come back crying, I lost 5 pounds of muscle, Blaha was right. That's a whole year's worth of gains. Look, you're telling me that's what they recommend, and I am telling you, go test it. And you're going to come back cussing them and telling me that I'm right, and you're going to be pissed because you lost 5 pounds of lean tissue. Now, you can do whatever the hell you want, but do you want me to lie to you? So do you want me to tell you the truth, or do you want me to lie? I'll lie to you. Oh, it'll be perfectly fine. They're right. You'll keep all your muscle. Go for it. I'll be perfectly fine, dude. Just do it. Yeah. You'll keep all your gains, all of it. You won't lose any lean tissue. It'd be nothing but fat loss. Okay. Do you want me to reinforce what they're telling you? I just lied to you. So go test it now. You're going to be very upset. Be like, why did they give this recommendation? Like, well, we just wanted you to cut faster so you can go back to making gains. That's always their explanation. So what if you lose a little muscle? You'll regain it on muscle memory. And I'm over here saying, hey, if you cut slow, you can gain muscle while doing it instead of losing gains. So that eliminates the other argument. It completely eliminates it. It's gone. Well, so we can get back to making gains quicker. Well, why don't you just make gains and cut slower and keep making gains forever? I'm just saying. Because people have no patience. They know that most of their followers are impatient children because that's the American culture. We want everything now. I wouldn't lose more than a pound a week. I'd say, man, if you really want to make muscle gains, lose half a pound a week and keep making some lean gains while you do it for the next year. Unless you're fat. I mean, how fat are you? I get it if you're fat. Yeah, go ahead and lose weight because we don't care about muscle. Like if you're 25% body fat, get that shit off. Okay, I get it. But at that point, you're so sloppy that you just need to get rid of the fat and not bulk that high again. You're 17%. Okay. You're 17% on a DEXA scan. Why don't you just cut slow and make gains? Just trim down leaner and leaner and make gains the whole time. All right. Spencer, I want to run your all-season linear program. People run it. It's not really, I've always said for years, it's not my program. People ask me, someone asked me in a Q&A, and I just did a quick video take. In the video as a take, like I didn't write it out. I got in a video in 2012 or 2013 and sat down and said, okay, I will answer your question. They said, hey, if you were going to write a 12-week linear periodization program, like, could you explain kind of how they work? And I wrote a sample. I didn't write it. I did it off the top of my head in a video off the cuff. And said, yeah, this is a textbook linear periodization program, 12 weeks with 4 mesocycles, and you could do it with these 5 exercises. And I broke it down, right, on the percentages and increase of the waves. Like, this is a standard linear periodization generic template. And then people all of a sudden started calling it Blaha's off-season linear. I said, it's a linear off-season for like an athlete or football player or whatever. And it turned into a program that people started running. Dude, it was just the most generic textbook linear periodization I could come up with off the top of my head. And it's kind of funny. And hundreds of people ended up running it. It's kind of comical. Like, it's not even mine. It was just a standard type template, Like, it's very credible. Should I do a decacycle? I don't know. Do you grip the bar wide on bench for hypertrophy? Is it I do it for more chesticles. I've gotten stronger and stronger at wide grip though. So my goal is to maximize strength on it because, again, ideally, if your chest is big enough, it should in theory be strongest. So yeah, I mean, I grip right now, the ring is right around here. So usually middle finger is on the rings for me. So I'm not like this on the bench. All right. So how I'm going to bench today. Both 315 home and start repping it. Most Americans are immature. Oh, they're impatient, especially with things with their body. Do grip the bar wide. Joy, client Jay's vlogs. Yeah. Now Justin's cool, dude. I've had Justin as a client for 5.5 years. We've had some hilarious video call conversations over the years. Dude, he's super chill. The dude is just one of the really chill, nicest people you'll ever meet. All right. I mean, he trains hard, and he obviously has a work ethic in the gym. It's crazy work ethic. When you chat with a guy, like Justin's very, very family, very church type guy, right? So if you actually talk to the guy, that's like the only stuff that matters to him. Like, that's all he cares about really is God, his family, and the training he enjoys doing. That's like his whole thing. Do you think caffeine is bad to consume every day? No. I'm drinking coffee right now, bro. Justin is significantly stronger, more jacked, and more aesthetic than natural hypertrophy. Why do people think it age gives out good info? I have no idea because his followers are clowns. Right. So you take Justin, and here's the thing, Justin's like 37. I've been coaching him since his early 30s. Dude straight up squats 520, pulled 590 before. And yeah, he's more jacked than natural hypertrophy, and he's never used gear. Justin doesn't even take supplements for the most part. Last time, I think he was saying one time, Coach, do you think adding some protein shake would help me out? He's like, because I'm trying to force down more chicken. And people get pissed at his diet. He's just like, I just eat normal food, whatever the family cooks. And I just try to add extra chicken to everything. He's like, I just keep piles of chicken breast around and just snack on chicken breast. Yeah. I drink like an energy drink a day is just thinking about quitting. I don't know about energy drinks, depending on what's in it. You're asking caffeine versus an energy drink. You're talking about a whole mix of all sorts of stuff that I don't know what's in it versus caffeine. So I'm spamming laterally. It's a sneaky snake. Just take a caffeine pill. Maybe. We just drink some coffee. Drink a little coffee. But yeah, that's the point. Client Justin's got him beat hands down, and I've been his coach long term, and he stays on for a reason. What do you do other than lifting, painting, guitar, time with loved ones? What's going on, Vegeta? Vegeta, did you catch my live yesterday? I had to go there on that. Because again, that is a big part of my channel, dude. That has been a big part of my message from day one, has been getting abuse survivors under a barbell. For me, that is probably the single most important thing I could do in my entire life. Help other abuse survivors get stronger. I can't think of a better use of my life or a more noble calling. No, I didn't see Vegan Gains' response. I cannot imagine it was too good because Vegan Gains is an admitted sociopath. Like Richard has admitted on camera before, he is a clinically diagnosed sociopath. So I don't imagine that he really understood any of it. What did he say though? Some people tried to link it to me and I blocked them, quite frankly, because I didn't feel like watching it. I got stuff to get done today. No thunder, because I would be dead without lifting. I need it for my mental health. Also, basically, I mean, but Richard is a scumbag. So, I mean, let's be realistic. Richard will say anything for publicity. I mean, the man mocked his dying grandfather in the hospital while his grandfather was dying and uploaded it to the internet. There's going to be a point to where I go, do we really, really care what his opinions are on that? I'm just going to call it, again, self-admitted sociopath. Thunderbolt, a sociopath is someone who is incapable of fully controlling their impulses and who doesn't have the ability to have empathy for other humans. So it's part of their brain is broken in such a way that they are not capable of empathy or compassion for other human beings. So yes, it's a mental illness. Right? Generally speaking, most of your really serious violent criminals tend to be sociopaths because people who torture and rape other people to death tend to not be capable of feeling empathy for humans. They don't have that part of their brain working. And I'm not saying all sociopaths are terrible people. They're not. Right? I'm not saying that they're all bad people, but they can go bad real quick, especially, not given the right environment. Yeah, no, I remember when he admitted it. Vegeta, he admitted that he was a diagnosed sociopath at one time. I remember the video. It was like 10 years ago. So, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. But I mean, what am I going to do? Get up and say Vegan Gains is an evil person? His audience already knows he's an evil person. He doesn't really have a problem with it for the most part. Again, self-admitted sociopath, The guy literally mocked his dying grandfather and uploaded it to the internet to his channel, making fun of his grandfather laying in the hospital bed dying, and told him it was his own fault because he ate meat. I mean, there's your context. His fans are aware that he did this. You know, we're not at the level of a joke or trolling or anything. This is straight up, this was his real grandfather. And the dude put it online. Like, we're not at the point of a joke or, hey, I was just fooling around. This is what his dying grandfather had to hear from him and then get mocked and put online. I mean, damn, guys. Whew, you know. Yeah, veganism tends to be correlated. Yeah, with the grandfather thing and the kid with cancer, that y'all was way over the line. I didn't see the kid with cancer thing. Oh, he said the grandfather was abusive. All right, Marco, I didn't catch all that part, which I get, but it's like, it's fine. If you're going to call someone for their abuse, call them for their abuse, but you don't need to bring you deserve it because you hurt animals. No, you could be like, you were abusive to me, or, you were a pedophile, which would also explain Richard's condition if that was the case. Because that stuff scars you for life, dude. I had to have a lot of therapy. A lot. Starting pretty young. And a lot of people would say I still didn't turn out completely okay. T.Y. could add other stuff. Who gets better training advice, NH or junkie, or neither one? No, I don't know if NH is a sociopath, and I have no idea. Possibly. I have an abusive family. I wouldn't mock them on their deathbed. If you had to pick one, man, that's tough. I guess NH, if I had to pick one, not by much though. But that's the thing, Marco. If someone's abusive, call them on their abusiveness. That's fine. I did it. I went public with mine. My abuser suffered extreme social embarrassment when I came forward. And I don't want to get into all the details of what happened legally because it didn't go as well as I would have hoped. And I don't want to go into what happened later, but there was a point where I couldn't handle it anymore. So, do you regret calling Jerry Ward a junkie Ward? Vegeta, I'll go so far as say it was probably over the line. Now, here's kind of what I said about that a couple years back, Vegeta. I kind of said he and I were both over the line. Like, Jerry pulled some stuff that was completely out of order, and I hit him back way below the belt as a response. But it's the case of do two wrongs make a right. Because you guys know me, I don't let off. He went over the line with me one time, way out of bounds, and I started clapping back. That's when I started the junkie ward and all that stuff. Did I take it to a level that was unacceptable? Yes. Like, was I out of line? I'll say yeah. He was out of line first. I probably took it too far. As a mature grown man, I should not have responded as extreme as I did. I can own that. And I think more or less what it comes down to, and I've said we were both out of line. We both behaved badly, and we both set a piss poor example for our followers with that. Both of us. And instead of behaving like grown men, he and I both behaved like children. Now, as far as the other thing goes, I can see the abuse survivor being a part of his addiction. It's massive, massive part. So I do feel bad for that fact. And that's actually something he and I probably could have talked about and made peace over had we both said, look, dude, we're both that have our own issues. We both are child abuse survivors. We both got under the barbell as part of our way to deal with it. We probably could have ended up being allies to some extent with a better understanding. Instead, we fought each other and we behaved like children. A lot of people abuse children who can't handle a little shit talk. That's not down to childhood abuse. I mean, I handle a lot of stuff personally. DJ, you are aware of what Jerry did though, right? It wasn't about trash talking me. That was not where he went over the line. You don't tell your audience to abuse my loved ones. That's out of line. Essentially, in short, he told his audience that they should walk over and grab and slap my girlfriend's ass at the gym and record it and show that I wouldn't do anything. That I was a big pussy and I wouldn't do anything to them in response if they walked up and just started slapping her ass in the gym and grabbing it. That's where he was out of line. That crazy hoe would have shot them. I'm just telling you straight. I wouldn't have even had time. She would have shot them straight up. You guys have no idea. She would have drawn down on them and dumped a mag at them. She was crazy like that. But, you know, that aside, but that's where he was out of line. Like, you have a problem, we fine, but you don't jump up and tell your audience to sexually grope or assault someone's girlfriend. And he got up and told his audience to do it on camera. So he turned into Junkie Ward. All right. Jason, a few years ago during an interview, Arnold got some stick and criticism after saying there is no heaven. I don't know. Man, I don't want to. It's too early in the morning for me to deal with that one. Yeah, he started it, I finished it. But I'm not saying it makes it right. Like, let's be clear. He was way, way, way out of bounds. I took it pretty far. Because I didn't just do it one time. It's like I hit it home over and over and over and over and had the stuffed toy, calling it, the Junkie Wards, Cocoa Puff stuck on his head. Like, you guys remember all that. I went pretty far. But I'm like, he started it. Just like with NH, like he started it, dude. I'm gonna make 1,000 hours of videos over and over and over and over and over. I mean, he started it. No, I'm not worried. Dale, I am scaling a little of the volume back to deal with the extra cardio. So I just have to balance it, not overtraining. All right, guys, man, we're almost an hour deep. This is a coffee chat. I got to wind this down. I got to do some bench pressing. I got to get more coffee. Love you guys. I'll talk to you later.